welcome. Today is Sunday, and we are here to hang out with you guys to do our famous Black History moment. I'm in Studio A, and my lovely co-host is over there in Studio B. How you doing, Miss Fiona?
I can't complain. How are you today, Dr. Ron?
And your image is froze up.
It did.
Yes, I don't know what you did because it was working a second ago. Now all of a sudden, all we can see is your smiling face and a still frame. But trust me, Miss Fiona is alive over in Studio B, and she gonna straighten it out in 1 second. I don't know what she got to do to straighten it out, but she gonna straighten it out in 1 second. So while she's doing that, I'm gonna talk to y'all a few seconds. Um, I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, when you look back and you realize that you have had a wonderful friendship with people as long as you've had it with them. On yesterday, I lost a friend that has been with me for since high school. And I tell you, we've had many, many years of wonderful friendship. We go all the way back to high school. We have, shared many moments. And he had a stroke on his birthday and passed away. But all I can think about is wonderful, wonderful times and experiences that we have shared since high school. We grew up together, and whatever has happened, that caused him not to be here anymore, all I can say is nothing but good things. And every time we run into each other, it's just like, man, we never skip a beat. We used to drink Rich's Wild Irish Rose together. We used to party together. We used to do lots of things together. So I salute and applaud my high school friend Eugene Dunn, who ain't with us no more. But I pray for his family, and I pray that that their pain not last long, and that they're able to move on, knowing that Eugene is not suffering or in any type of pain. So just wanted to get that out there since it just happened on yesterday. High school friend no longer with us anymore, but he was well loved when he was here. So, I thank God for having him in my life. We used to have lots and lots of fun, which would turn this into an X-rated show, which I'm not going to do. So, Miss Fiona is smiling and moving, you all. She's no longer froze up, so we got her back. That's what's up. See,
Oh,
I was
Lord.
stalling Miss Fiona while you got that straightened out.
Thank you.
Yes. Um, so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna do a Black History moment, and which is what we've been doing on Sundays. But before we go to the Black History moment, I want to be able to get my announcements out the way. You don't mind if I do that, Miss Fiona?
No, have your way.
Thank you. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to all of the healthcare heroes that are in the world. And I say world because they're on all continents doing their job, traveling around the world, making, um, decisions and helping people stay alive, in a time like this. And I am so glad that they're on the front line, and we are shouting them out and letting people know that we appreciate all of the healthcare workers in their work that they do. As a matter of fact, I am wearing my doctor's shirt in solidarity to all of the healthcare workers that are out there. When we get an all clear and they tell us that Corona is over with and it's safe, then I'm going to do a wardrobe change. I'm going to come out with something different. I promise I will, y'all. I'm just waiting till we get an all clear. Right now, we ain't got an all clear yet, and people are still getting sick, and people are still dying from the coronavirus. So please be careful out there. protect yourselves, protect your families. Um, Also, I want to give a shout out to all of the pastors that are on the front line. There are many of them have gone back to their regular worship, schedules. I still caution them to please be careful. My mentor, Dr. Hunt, is still doing Zoom and electronic teaching. So if you're not familiar with Dr. Hunt, I encourage you to scroll over to my YouTube channel, and I have an entire playlist devoted to Dr. Hunt and his archive, his old stuff. And if you know anything about the word, it does not spoil. It is still just as good as it was when he first did it. So I got a whole YouTube channel devoted to him. You can go over to my ask-dr-ron.com. And when you get over there, you can find my YouTube button, click on it, subscribe, like, and share. You'll also find my Instagram. Please join me. And then you can scroll down and you can see a lot of good information. Please send us your contact information so we can let you know what we're doing. Please support our vendors. We have more and more vendors. Ms. Fiona has brought in some people that wanted to be talked about and made aware of through our show, and we thank you for participating and being a part of what we do here. But we need you to take a look at all of our vendors. Port Again Sam, check out RRJ Webb, check out the tax lady, Miss Quick Fishing. Check all these people out. They're offering the best of services. And speaking about Black History Month, I'm a big fan that we need to support black businesses. Okay, so if you don't know any black businesses, I just gave you a place to find some. You can go there, you can see black businesses that you can support and help keep them up and afloat during this economic hard times. We need you to spend your dollars with them to help keep them afloat. So, that being said, I'm gonna get out the way and let Miss Fiona, do her thing with her Black History moment for today. So, who you got for us today, Miss Fiona?
Okay. Today's Black History moment comes from The Edge, which is a online magazine. And we're going to talk about the strength of street knowledge, also known as NWA. Do you remember the a music group back when you were growing up, Dr. Ron? A hip hop
NWA,
group.
a hip hop group. Well, see,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of old, so hip hop wasn't popular, back in my day.
Mm-hmm.
We had real music. We had what they call belly rubbing music.
Oh yeah.
Blue lights in the basement. We had the Isaac Hayes. We
Mm-hmm.
had the Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire. Marvin Gaye, baby
Mm-hmm.
making music. That's what they used. That's why you here now, because of that kind
Oh,
of
okay.
music. But if I must recall a group that came out with the style of hip hop, the very first
Mm-hmm.
one, I would have to say Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay, I definitely have heard about that through my mom and people your age.
Gee,
Um,
thanks.
so he,
Ooh, oh, shots fired.
I'm glad. I see. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. So I thank God for those
uh,
belly, making musics
there
and
you go.
stuff.
There you go.
So, for those who have seen the film or are fans of the late '80s, early '90s gangster rap hip hop group, you know the significance of not only in the music industry but also the African American culture. And for those who haven't, NWA's place in Black history is well earned. A little history. NWA rose during a period of East Coast dominance in the US rap scene. So at that time there were LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, Public Enemy were amongst the East Coast acts that enjoyed commercial success. NWA rose during a period of heightened tension between the impoverished suburban black community and police force. While this is duly noted, it was also the nation was it was also what else was going on in the nation was the crack epidemic. So the introduction of crack cocaine into America was felt nowhere more prominently than the impoverished African American community. This is when NWA rose to the challenge and challenged the East Coast rap scene because also to shed light on the lives of so many Americans who up until then was widely underrepresented. With their violent and often profane descriptions of street life in the city of Compton, coupled their ardent condemnation of police brutality and racial profiling. Their message permeated through all walks of life through America. Parents all the way up to politicians, NWA made headlines and amid accusations of promoting violence towards law enforcement and glorifying gang life. However, this level of attention only served to increase their fame. And while the group was ultimately dissolved in 1991, the 1992 LA riots, or the Rodney King riots, as some known to call them, would for many symbolize the very message that NWA had come to expound. And at that point, NWA had rewritten the rap game. Rap began to focus on the hardships of the impoverished Black Americans, life on the streets, brutality, gang life, and greater telling of social economic issues that plagued Americans' dominant minority. So, not only that, but the controversy hit of F the police has become synonymous with anti law enforcement protests, which would bring us all the way back to 2020, where this chant has been heavily used throughout last year's anti police protests across America. So to note, NWA then they weren't credited that chant back then, but this was just to show the massive influence on modern rap and the modern civil rights movement. And for today, NWA's message of reality of the street life and police brutality are still relevant.
All right. Now, can you please tell us who the members of the group are?
Okay, two members three. I know that Easy E was a member, but he died when I think like the late early
He
90s.
died of AIDS. Yep.
He died of AIDS. And then the other one was Dr. Dre
Mm-hmm.
and Ice Cube. And then I know there was two other gentlemen in there. I think it was DJ Ren. And then I don't know, I forgot who the light skinned guy's name was.
The light
But there
skinned
was
guy. Lord
the
have
light
mercy.
skin. Hey, that's what they called him.
Yeah. So now,
Let me
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, ask your question, then I'll have an answer for you.
Yeah, no. So, in history, Black history, just for
Mhm.
clarification, you don't have to go back thousands of years in order to be able to talk about what history, has done and what was relevant in our history. So I applaud you on bringing NWA, to forward as a Black History moment because they were not as important for me in my life as it was for you.
Mhm.
Because they were a voice in the community, like we have today. 50 years from now, they'll be talking about Black Lives Matter because that
Mhm.
is the chant and the slogan that is used to try and execute change. And some of the things that was going on in Compton, and some of the things that were the riots that went on with Rodney King. See, I was alive and lived through some of that. So some things become a battle cry, and some things
Mhm.
become relevant for an era. Just like we have things that we need to keep on the forefront of people's minds that we've been fighting for thousands of years in order to have change. And sometimes just fighting thousands of years just for existence.
Mhm.
Because some people would love to see us non-existence and not relevant. So with my platform and what I do, I want to make sure that we keep needling folks so that change can be somewhat of a reality. Maybe not for my lifetime, but for yours for sure.
Mhm.
Because you're young, and you have an opportunity to see. what things have evolved into. So
Mhm.
I applaud you. Thank you for that. You know,
No problem.
yeah.
I have the members now.
Okay.
It was Easy E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, the DOC, and in this one they included Snoop Dogg and Arabian Prince. I'm not sure about the last two, but
Okay.
they included that in
All right. There you go. So now we know. You know,
there.
this has been a Black History Moment brought to you by Miss Fiona. All right. So, what would you say would be the biggest influence of that type of music on you as a young person? Because you ain't young no more. So since you're going
Right.
shots fired on me, I'm gonna shoot back. Talking about y'all old people making babies. All right, yeah, yeah. All right, come on now. You know.
You know, I think the biggest impact of that is that the millennials think the millennials are not quiet. They really say what it is, which admire them in that aspect because for my generation, we kind of like teeter totter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like with them, they bring out even more of what we want to say. So I think right now that's the biggest thing that I'm taking from what NWA did, Public Enemy, and I don't in my generation, I would say like Dead Prez and music groups like that have been influential.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not making sense where I can now see it, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm. I
I'm
got you.
looking back at my history,
Okay. So
trying
so
to do
so
the
it
same thing.
encourage you to be more relevant. You would say.
Yeah, be more relevant because then it could help you as a person and your grandkids and your children
Mm-hmm.
on where they are. And it won't be such a fight
Mm-hmm.
because every generation goes through something. Like you said, I'm not familiar with that music. You know what I mean? But
Right.
for us, it's like,
That was it.
okay.
That was it. And
Mhm.
just a little bit of history about hip hop music. Hip hop music was fully embraced and accepted by Quincy Jones. And
Mhm.
they got when they first started giving awards for hip hop music, then it was fully accepted by the music industry overall. But there
Mhm.
was a battle. But Quincy
Mhm.
Jones had stepped to the mic and he said, "Look, when he first came along, big bands were the big thing then. Was the era, and his type of music came along called jazz,
Mhm.
and the industry rebelled against it. They had Miles
Yeah.
Davis, Charlie Parker, all of these names in the jazz industry that were, you know, rebellious to the type of music that was current of their day. So when they
Mhm.
start creating other types of music, there was like, oh no, these little, these little upstarts and all of that kind of stuff. And then they birthed an era of music that made them legends and famous. So
Mhm.
fast forward when you look at, the hip hop era and how it came in like a storm, and the type of lyrics and the type of beats that they were bringing forward, your generation embraced that and made it
Mhm.
you all's era of music, which was a very positive thing. So, it served the purpose. We had a couple of artists on already this month with Sandy Red. She brought a very, um, you know, battle cry type music,
Mhm.
in her latest song. If you all haven't seen it, go back a couple of weeks. Sandy Ray was interviewed here. We played it on the show. It's still up. You can go check it out. And then we had David E. Mill,
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago as well. And David E. Mill, has a gospel song which includes, lyrics presented by a rapper.
Mhm.
So it is still inclusive in music, modern day music. Maybe it's going to be around for generations to come. We don't know because generations and things
Mhm.
change and they pass through whatever is popular at the moment. But if you're on cutting edge, music, that's what, hey, that's what people gravitate to. What's hot for them. So I think we didn't gave a full music lesson here.
We did. We did.
Yes.
Hey, it's a deep subject. Where it can change your day. Listening to a song can change your mood.
Yeah, I have to admit, I didn't know what Biggie and Tupac was saying until probably last week, but now I understand.
Mm, hmm Well, you know what? That was even I was definitely going to bring this up at some point in Black History, but um, it's you not understanding hip hop and Biggie to me is like not understanding what's that young man's name who passed away, little Vaughn, what's King Vaughn.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's music that I'm like, okay, let me. It's not so much that I want to listen to it, but it's like, well, what are the kids in
Yeah.
this generation talking
Yeah.
about?
What resonates with them? Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll probably be another 10 years before I can understand them too. So don't feel bad.
Um, now
Yeah.
I feel old.
Well, look, this is not the show. This is just the promo. So you
Mhm.
all need to come back on Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. And you can also catch the replay on YouTube. We got an outstanding guest coming up this week. My brother in broadcasting, Mr. Francisco, aka Chocolate Yoda. Now y'all gonna want to know what that means. Y'all gonna have to come back because my co-host will pull it out of him. Because she
We gonna
brings
know.
the heat, boy. She'll go right in on him like, okay, what's this chocolate Yoda crap? You know,
Sure do.
yeah. She got my brother in broadcasting last week, Mr. Chris Bass. She jumped all over him like, what is this boom shakalaka stuff? She went in on him. So Miss Fiona don't have no problems asking the hard journalistic questions. Okay.
Not at all.
you know. So please come back and be with us on Tuesday. Tell somebody, invite 10 people to come on back and be with you. Tell them this is the place to be on Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please go over to ask-dr-ron.com and check out everything that's going on over there. Support everything that's going on over there. I need your support. And
Mm.
this week something new we're starting. We're going to put up all of our information so you can make donations and contributions. So please, so you can't say you don't know where to send the money to. So we're going to put it up and we're going to get out of here. Miss Fiona, what you got to say to them before we get out of here?
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday with a renewed mind and see you on Tuesday.
Peace, y'all.